This news update is brought to you by...
Grab somebody and tell them hello. Pure happiness will be connect to flow. Smile and cheer because that is we flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello. With your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow, yeah. Grab somebody and tell them this is how we flow.
This is the Barbados Today evening news update for Monday, July 20th. Thank you for joining us. I am Mary Claire Williams. Finance Minister Chris Sinckler is defending the government's efforts so far to increase revenue and cut debt. It comes on the heels of the IMF's report card on the economy. The Washington-based institution called on the Frundle-Stewart administration to implement a comprehensive reform program that includes strong fiscal adjustment to foster growth and external debt stability. He also stressed the need for continued ambitious adjustment efforts. But Sinckler told reporters today he is satisfied with the government's program. He added government is not looking for praise from the IMF.
I outlined in the budget what we will consider the next phase of reforms, and I identified them: education, public health, sanitation. We also look at other parts of the economy in relation to sugar, which we're working on. We looked at promoting the alternative energy sector. We looked at diversification in tourism, increasing our product value and our offerings, and of course making our service a lot more excellent. We looked at issues pertaining to productivity, the cost of doing business, and so forth and so on. So all of those things have been highlighted and dealt with. In fact, I believe in the same release, the IMF said that they were happy with what we had said in the budget, but we are not looking for approbation from the IMF. We are doing the program that we believe best suits the circumstances in Barbados. Some people feel we should go a lot deeper and a lot faster. We believe that the pace that we're going at right now is reasonable enough given the circumstances of the society. And then, of course, we build from there to ensure that we get to the target objective that we have set. So that's where we are at.
Members of the public are beginning to feel the effects of the strike by customs officers at the air and seaports. The workers remained off the job today. They are protesting what they say is the premature issue of option forms for transfer to the Barbados Revenue Authority. Corporate Communications Officer at Grantley Adams International Airport, Keith Goddard, told Barbados Today that passengers arriving are experiencing delays in being processed. While at the port, at least 24 people who went to clear their personal effects were turned away. A number of containers which were not able to be delivered on Friday, most were delivered today. Barbados could soon have a family court. Former magistrate and children's rights advocate Faith Marshall Harris revealed early plans for the court in her address to the meeting of the Barbados Association of Professional Social Workers. She says it is generally accepted in territories recognizing common law domestic relationships that the family court is the best way of handling matters of disagreement among partners and within households.
We are at last moving to what is going to be a family court in Barbados. We have talked about it for a long time. I think that both parties have generally felt it was a good thing, but nobody seemed ever able to commit to it. Well, finally, after a lot of lobbying, we've heard the Attorney General say that if the family court will become a reality. And as such, he has asked the Family Law Council to do as much work as we can in providing not just the information that is needed, but to do some of the groundwork in terms of making sure those persons who have to be part of the family court know exactly what it's about and what it should achieve and why, in simple terms, is a good thing.
Medical professionals will soon be better equipped to care for patients on their dying beds. A palliative care and end-of-life maintenance program was launched by the University of the Southern Caribbean this morning at the institution's Belleville office. Palliative care is specialized medical treatment which focuses on providing patients with relief from the symptoms and stress of a serious illness. Local advocate Dr. Natalie Graves says about 2,400 people die here each year and 73% requires this specific treatment.
There's a difference between certification as a specialist and certification as having basic skills necessary for the approach. Now, the program that we're offering goes in stages as well. So if you want to do further training, you can do an expanded course. You can do palliative care in particular for the pediatric population, but this does not replace the 4-year certification if you wanted to be a palliative care specialist. Now, palliative care is an approach to care. We like to think of it as an iceberg, where the bulk of palliative care is practiced by every health professional. What has happened, unfortunately, in the development of our medical teaching, not only in Barbados but just across the world, persons may not have the fundamental skills in delivering the approach. So this course takes on all of the fundamental skills, from basic communication, how to deal with last hours, dementia, and pain management.
Thousands of soca lovers packed the Farley Hill National Park for the annual Soca on the Hill yesterday. They partied from just after midday until well into the night and were entertained by the likes of the Queen of Bacchanal, Destra, Ricardo Drew, Skinny Fabulous, Benjai, and several local acts. Here's a look back at some of what you may have missed.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Our valued partners for the BT Cropover Superstar Competition: Flow, Banks, the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc., Izumi Media, and Liberty Store.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Got it in my hand, yeah. My Barbados, my bank. Got to understand, yeah. My Barbados, my bank. Ain't nothing like a core bank spare. None of them others just can't compare. You just got to love that taste. It's a world-class thing this land makes. Whether I'm cruising or at a bar, whether I'm at home, my bank spare is never far. this blessing, got to give God thanks. My Barbados, my banks.
In news from the region, St. Kitts Prime Minister Timothy Harris is reporting a 7.8% economic growth for the first quarter of this year. Dr. Harris told business leaders on the weekend this was a more encouraging result than the same period last year when government recorded 4.8% growth. He added that national debt is now estimated at $1.7 billion. On the international scene, banks in Greece reopened today after 3 weeks. They were shut down because of the deadlock over the country's debt as the government begins repayment of its loans to the IMF and the ECB. But despite the reopening, Greeks still face a number of restrictions and price rises. More in this report from the BBC.
They queued from early morning, a rush to access the banks as the doors opened. Among the crowd, frustration at what the past 3 weeks have brought. Businesses having been unable to pay suppliers, pensioners having queued up at cash points in the boiling sun.
I want to tell Tsipras and all his predecessors to go and drown themselves for all this nightmare they're creating. I owe rent. The Prime Minister can pay it for me. We're hungry.
How should I feel? I feel as though I'm without money. What can I do?
The banking crisis may be easing, but first new austerity measures are biting. Today, VAT in restaurants, on transport and other goods rises from 13 to 23%, a concern for Greece's service industry.
We will have a problem with the customers because everybody is scared about the extra money that he have to pay. So we think that the Greeks every year will be less and less. That's especially for the small business, for the small restaurants, family business, it's destroyed. Many of them will be closed.
The closure of the banks is thought to have cost the Greek economy around €3 billion, making it necessary to have even harsher austerity measures to address the balance. So in the coming weeks there will be a rise in corporate tax, a push for more privatisations and labour reforms, including Sunday trading. The chaos of the past 3 weeks may have eased very slightly, but Greece is very far from being out of the woods.
And that's the evening news. For more news, log on to www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also, tune in to Channel 101 on Line TV, as well as Mix 96.9 FM. I am Marie Claire Williams. Good evening.